Hello everyone, Mrs. CW here. This is a dance tutorial for World's Greatest Dad, which is the song in scene 2 of Elf the Musical Junior. This is when Buddy is journeying to New York City and he is so excited to meet his dad. It's also right after he left the North Pole and the narwhal famously says, "Bye, Buddy, hope you find your dad." Our narwhals are always played by someone fun. In fact, there's often more than one. But our original narwhal is Dr. Madison, one of our teachers. And they are also often played by former actors. I wonder who will be the narwhal or narwhals this year. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to go through the dance slowly and talk through it and remind you which parts are Buddy and which parts are the New Yorkers. And then I will make another video along with the music. Okay, let's get started. So at the beginning of the song, Buddy is turned around and he's waiting for all of the scene change, the North Pole to go away. And then he gets the cue and he comes out and he turns around as if he's just seen all of the places he went, the candy cane forest, those kind of places that they talk about, okay? All right, so then out to the audience, he's just hopeful about all of the things he's going to do with his dad. So he's got his hands out, a dad who's a million miles away. What Buddy's kind of doing is like, he's foreshadowing, like everyone else points later when they see Santa, because that would be so amazing to see Santa. And Buddy's version of that, because of course he knows Santa, is the most amazing person he could see is his dad. So a dad who's a million miles away. Like kind of point when you get there, okay, Buddy? And then when he meets me, point to yourself, who knows what he'll see. So shrug up and then down. But deep down, so you're like, yes, in my heart. But deep down, I know I shouldn't be afraid. This is a move I did in Matilda a lot, but it's kind of like the Oogie Boogie, like, shouldn't be afraid. Because he's bound to be a lot like me. So you took your hands and went like this, down, facing downwards, and now they are up. And then on the words, look towards the cafeteria, then look towards the library, and then out to the front on and will make, okay? In this moment, your thoughts are coming to life and they're turning into the New Yorkers. So, Buddy, you're going to go and will make. And then in that moment, you'll have some New Yorkers on either side of you to act this out. From here on out, some of the New Yorkers, you do some of these motions, all right? So watch for the one that you do. Some of them come forward and while he's singing Angels in the Snow, till the snow begins to blow. So he says, and will make. Angels in the snow, till the snow begins to blow. Okay, when you do this with your angel, if you don't get all the way down, then it's easier to get here. So if you go angels in the snow, and then just out here till the snow begins to blow. Then we'll run inside and start a tickle fight. And depending on which side you're in, you're with New Yorkers with your buddy or buddies, pretend to have a tickle fight. Then you guys go away. Then the next group comes forward, and if it's too cold to sled, act like you're like, brr, it is too cold. And then we'll eat gingerbread instead. So with your left hand, the one closer to the library, pretend like you're holding a cup of hot cocoa. And then with your cafeteria hand, with your right, pretend to dunk it into the hot cocoa and then take a bite. It's like you're dunking a gingerbread cookie, okay? And if it's too cold to sled, we'll eat gingerbread instead. and then cuddle till he tucks me in at night. Okay, so then you're going to cuddle, you're going to hug, and then when you go to sleep, you're going to go to sleep by the library. Think of it like after you read books at night, then you go to sleep. Okay, so your head goes closer to the library. Then those people walk away, and then he says, and we'll have our pictures taken for the Christmas cards we're making. So this doesn't have to be like perfect. You can kind of do it your own way. I usually lean towards my right and then my left. I tend to do that because I'm right-handed. And then pose right and then left. Okay, so with your hands towards the cafeteria and then the library, and then with your hands on your hips like you're posing for a nice photo. Okay, and we'll have our pictures taken for the Christmas cards we're making. And then he says, him and me in suits of matching plaid. Okay, like that. So go run your hands down the hand that's closer to the cafeteria and then the hand that's closer to the library. Okay, and then ta-da, like look how cute I look in my outfit. Fun fact, a lot of the New Yorkers are wearing plaid on purpose because of the lyrics of this song. And because we love plaid, right? Who doesn't love a plaid moment? All right, so, and we'll have our pictures taken for the Christmas cards we're making, him and me in suits of matching plaid. And then they walk away. And now this is just Buddy. And when people see us walking, they'll be Google-eyed and gawking. So he's like acting like he has googly eyes, okay, a little bit. And then gawking is like, whoa, what's with that guy? It's like when you're staring. So what he's saying is like everyone's gonna be jealous of him because of his amazing dad, okay? We love to see it, okay. And when people see us walking, they'll be Google-eyed and gawking. And then he does this. At Buddy and the world's greatest dad. So to break that down, on Buddy, he does the Buddy pose, which is fists at your natural waist and your feet are like this. I don't think you can see my feet in the video, doesn't matter. It's the pose that Buddy the Elf often strikes. Buddy and the world's, like ta-da, here's the world. And then greatest, like, yes, so great. And then on dad, like you're putting your hands on your suit lapels. And a lot of the New Yorkers actually wear a coat. So if you have a coat or a jacket or a little layer, then you can actually grab that. Buddy can kind of like put his hands on either side of his buddy suit, of course. If you're wearing an outfit that's more like a dress or doesn't have lapels or, you know, a jacket to speak of, just pretend because it's the motion that kind of looks like a dad with a suit on, okay? Now during the instrumental, everyone's hustling and bustling and coming on. This is when it's clear that now he's in New York. Buddy turns around and is like, whoa, 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 like making motions like this and so amazed. And then when it goes da 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 da, and then all the New Yorkers on stage get in a formation and they point, again, foreshadowing what will happen later in the show. Okay, so it's like they're pointing because they're gonna see Santa later, and Buddy is pointing because he's made it to New York City. He's in the spot in his little snow globe where he needs to go, and that's where he's gonna find his dad, okay? Then you move around again, and New Yorkers, I know we've talked about this and it's a little challenging. It's like you need to think of, what are you doing? Are you hailing a taxi? Are you checking your phone? Are you taking pictures, sightseeing? Are you talking with someone? Are you selling newspapers? Are you trying to sell food? Are you just trying to like wave to a friend? Are you just like, oh, I need to get to work? Are you kind of in your head and like walking around? Okay, so you're moving around, and then the businesswoman acts like she's hailing a taxi. Taxi, taxi. And then the jogger runs across the front, wearing a red coat. And then Buddy is like, Santa. And then she turns around and she's like, ugh. And what the jogger needs to do is turn so the audience can still see your beautiful neck, okay? And then is like, no way. And Buddy's like, oh, Santa, not Santa, sorry. And then the flyer guys pretend like you've got some flyers. You won't, because it's too hard to dance with them after. It's like, what do you do with it? Okay. So you can be like, check it out. Okay. And while you are doing your motions, you can pretend like you're selling newspapers like a newsie. Okay. Another one of my favorite shows. Okay. Check it out. Literally. And then he looks at a cart and says, world's best souvlaki. Congratulations. So in the movie, he's watching for someone with world's best cup of coffee. So I think it's kind of a play on words that in this version, he says world's best souvlaki. So, and then he is up on a stool and all the characters are around him in a semicircle. Characters, New Yorkers, you're listening for the check it out. And then you start moving into place for this formation. And then when he says, we'll share a whole fruit cake slice by slice. So you're bopping. Again, this is a little bit imperfect, but as long as you're doing it on the beat, you're not like, you know, making it a weird hula moment. It's like very, I tend to go right again first, but it doesn't have to be so huge, it's small. We'll share a whole fruit cake slice by slice, making sure, so your hands come upwards like you're holding something, not one single crumb drops. Boom. And then the music goes doom after he says it. So it's like you're trying not to drop something, making sure not one single crumb drops, but then you do drop it. Boom. And your face kind of goes, oops. And then ensemble, you go down while he goes up really big and says, and if I were to say I'm in a Christmas play, and Buddy, you're gonna go like this and really big and you're the only one up, because it's funny that you're saying you're in a Christmas play. What if? And here you are being the star of this Christmas play. So everyone else is like this, and if I were to say I'm in a Christmas play, and then go, he wouldn't miss it for a million gumdrops. So it's like it's your little cheeks, where your dimples would be if you were chewing on something sweet. So he wouldn't miss it for a million gumdrops. Now drop your hands after you say gumdrops. Don't leave them there because it's kind of awkward. Okay, he wouldn't miss it for a million gumdrops. And then your hands come here, and then he acts on that. He acts like he's falling. So then your hands are here and it goes, oh, you act like, oh my gosh, can we help him? Okay, don't do it before he falls, because then it sort of looks like you might have pushed him or something. So make sure you do that after. Okay, so miss it for a million gumdrops, hands down, and then oh. Okay, and then your hands are out while he says, when I fall and scrape my knee, he'll kiss that knee for me. Okay, he's talking about how sweet and kind his dad is going to be, even if he gets hurt. And then you're gonna go and make that boo-boo better in a jiff. So it's like when a parent is like, come on, you're gonna be fun. Is literally what you're doing. Okay. And then he sneezes, achoo. And then New Yorkers, you're going to go, and if you should get a cold, so like, oh, so sick. So with your cafeteria hand, you're going to act like you're fainting, okay? And if you should get a cold or just allergies from mold, your other hand can just be there, okay? Because you came from make that boo-boo better in a jiff. And if you should get a cold, I know it's tempting to go right there, but make that boo-boo better in a jiff. Now your hand is facing sort of upwards, but turn it away from you now. And if you should get a cold or just allergies from mold, you can think of it like if you have allergies, sometimes that gives you a headache. And a cold is like, it's a lot of like coughing outwards. Relatable. But then when you have allergies, it's like also that, but it's, you know, in your head and your and you're feeling it more to yourself, okay? Or just allergies from mold, he'll gesundheit you with his own handkerchief. That means he'll say bless you and he'll give you a handkerchief. So it's like this dad is just so nice. He's always prepared. He wants to do fun things, and everyone is super jelly that you have him. Okay, that's Buddy's idea of the perfect ideal dad. Do you notice it's nothing about will he buy him tons of things? It's about spending time together. It's about doing fun things at home. And it's about being sweet and kind. That's what Buddy sees as an ideal parent. Just saying. All right. Okay. And if he'll gesundheit you with his own handkerchief. With your right hand that was up, doing out and then in and then take. It's like you're taking a handkerchief. Men, when they wear a suit, often wear a pocket square, which could be used, don't recommend it, but could, as a handkerchief, okay? And then when you're walking forward into your next formation, okay, once you do this, then it's time to go forward, okay? You can think of it like, here's your handkerchief, and now we walk. Okay, so you're going into your last formation, and if ever things turn gloomful, that's a mouthful. What it means is like if ever things are sad, okay? If you start to feel worried or sad. And if ever things turn gloomful. So it's like, I am so sad. It's very fast. And if ever things turn gloomful, and then gesture out with your blade hands. It's like you got the Barbie hands going, okay? You'll know that there's a room full. And then come up to yourself, hugs and jokes that make it seem less bad. Okay, there's a few moves where we do this, right? So when in doubt, in this song, there's a couple parts that are a little tricky, and we repeat this, okay? And if ever things turn gloomful, you'll know that there's a room. And if ever things turn gloomful, you'll know that there's a room full of hugs and jokes that make it seem less bad. Huh, I almost tricked you and did the wrong thing. Careful. All right. So, crying, there's a room full. There's literally a room full of people. So you're gesturing out. It's like you're breaking the fourth wall. Of hugs and jokes that make it seem less bad. And then when he says, I can't hide my admiration, so for that perfect combination. And don't get your hands too high because you have to do the buddy pose, okay? I can't hide my admiration. You duck a little bit for that perfect combination. You can kind of make it look like you're doing more than you really are by putting some oomph in it. Of Buddy and the world's greatest dad. Now this is the challenging part. I'd like to keep it a variant of this. So if we need to change it to make it a little easier, we will. But for now, what the New Yorkers are doing is they're facing inwards to Buddy. I'm gonna try my best to be, then away from him. Everything you'd expect of me. So when you hit it, it's real clean with your foot, okay? And you can make a bit of noise. Don't need to stomp once we've got the move down. We're just practicing, okay, to get it all at the same time. Your jazz hands are down, and then you're like, yes. And then you flip your foot, and you go jazz out and down, and yes. And then bring that foot back, okay? If you are on the side of the cafeteria, you're gonna go into Buddy first. So you're gonna go, I'm gonna try my best to be everything you'd expect of me. Then that foot comes back to meet your other one. And I promise that I won't stop until I'm done. I promise that I won't stop. Hey, I promise that I won't stop, right? I promise that I won't stop. Okay, all right, we're gonna stop. Then if you're on this side of Buddy, if you're on the library side, you turn into Buddy. I'm gonna try my best to be everything you'd expect of me. And I promise, see, it is tempting. You want to go back out. Okay, so back out into Buddy. Promise. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna try my best to be everything you'd expect of me, and I promise that I won't stop until I'm done. Okay, when he goes, I'm done. Okay, like that. So again, everybody is going like this into Buddy, depending on where you are in relation to him. I'm gonna try my best to be everything you'd expect of me, and I promise that I won't stop. Okay, if you're on this side, I'm gonna try my best to be everything you'd expect of me, and I promise that I won't stop until I'm done. Good. And then it ends just the same as Happy All the Time, because it's like Buddy has a theme song. He was singing with everybody else and they were like, happy all the time. And then they go like this and they end the song. Now you guys are going to go, and someday you can say, I'm the world's greatest. And you're kind of doing the same thing, gesturing to Buddy, depending on which side you're on. But then there's an extra bump, ba-dum, and you're gonna go real strong with Wakanda, okay? Black Panther, Wakanda forever, done, da, done. And if you're in the first row, you go down. If you're in the second row, you go up with in a Y. Okay, not like, oh no, I'm in trouble with the law. It's like a Y, like you're gonna do YMCA, but with jazz hands, okay? If you're in the first row, you're down and forward, and big smiles. So the interpretation of that is you guys were about to end the same way they do in Happy All the Time, but now you're in the big city. The final move is even bigger. And it's like Buddy has gone out in the world. So the first song ends like this, but now Buddy is on to bigger, not as maybe better, but North Pole sounds pretty great, right? On to bigger things and to meet, going outward, out of his comfort zone to meet his dad. So that is the song Slow. I think the hardest parts to remember, if you should get a cold, allergies from mold, Gesundheit you with his own handkerchief. And if ever things turn gloomful, you'll know that there's a room full of hugs and jokes that make it seem less bad. And then you go down, perfect combination of Buddy and the world's greatest dad. And then into Buddy, I'm gonna try my best to be away, everything you'd expect of me. And I promise that I won't stop until I'm done. And someday you can say, I'm the world's greatest son to Buddy, wherever he is in relation to you. And then dun, da, dun, or dun, da, dun, depending on where you're standing. Okay? All right. This song is so cute, and it just gets the audience, like they just saw the elves and now they're just seeing actually the office is in that scene, and now we've seen the New Yorkers, and within the first 10 minutes of the show we've seen everybody and we've gotten Buddy to New York City. So it's a great song and I hope you have fun with it. All right, I think you're ready to do it with the music. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hope you find your dad.